All right, welcome back to today's Explainer, where we're breaking down a really fascinating new report from Apple Insider. We're looking at how the biggest giant in tech is fundamentally shifting its entire strategy around artificial intelligence. Now, if you follow the tech space, even casually, you know the AI hype has been absolutely deafening lately. But Apple's approach, well, it's been pretty unique. And according to this new report, the whole playbook is about to change.
Right off the bat, there's this incredibly bold claim at the heart of the report. Apple is finally ready to make people care about AI again. I mean, just think about the weight of that statement for a second. It implies that maybe everyday consumers have a bit of AI fatigue, or maybe they just haven't found a reason to truly care yet. What we're about to unpack is exactly why everyday users are going to experience a massive shift in how they interact with their devices. This isn't just tech for the sake of tech. It's about making AI feel completely indispensable. So, what's genuinely wild here is the timeline we're looking at. As of May 2026, all eyes are locked on to the monumental expectations for iOS 27. This source material frames this exact operating system update as the definitive turning point. We are not talking about a minor bug fix or a small software patch. We're talking about a highly defined moment where Apple's long-game AI strategy steps right into the spotlight. Okay, let's jump into Section 1, Years of Quiet Building and the Foundation of Apple's AI. You know, to really understand where iOS 27 is taking us, we have to look back at what Apple's been doing this whole time. For years, they've been quietly weaving AI-powered experiences into basically everything they make. The iPhone, the iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, right down to the Apple Home ecosystem. They've been embedding machine learning deep in the background without constantly shouting buzzwords from the rooftops. It's just a silent, massive foundation spanning every piece of hardware you own. Which brings us to Section 2, the iOS 27 leap, going from quiet to loud.
That era of subtle, invisible integration, yeah, it's officially over. We're moving away from those quiet, background ecosystem features and jumping headfirst into what the report calls a huge leap forward. We are transitioning from invisible magic to front and center AI power. We're talking about features that actively demand your attention, fundamentally change your workflows, and totally redefine how you engage with your devices. And the ultimate catalyst for this massive strategic reversal? It all comes down to the number 27. The highly anticipated iOS 27 is the delivery mechanism for this shift. It's the literal line in the sand where Apple drags its AI ambitions out of the shadows and straight into the mainstream light.
So let's look at the actual tools in Section 3, unpacking Apple Intelligence and the features.
When we break down the rumored features, we're looking at a very distinct two-pronged strategy here. On one hand, you've got creative AI. This brings entirely new generative tools, things like generative photo editing and custom wallpaper creation, letting you build totally new things from scratch. On the flip side, smart assistants are getting a heavy upgrade. We're talking deeply integrated AI-powered shortcuts, visual intelligence upgrades, and a completely redesigned Siri. And let's be totally honest, a Siri redesign is something we have literally all been waiting for. It's a massive overhaul of how you create and how you command. Now, to make all these incredible features work without a hitch, Apple is doubling down on on-device intelligence. The report makes it crystal clear this means processing the heavy AI tasks directly on your hardware. So why should you care? Well, it's the absolute key to delivering a frictionless, instant experience. By relying on the silicon right there in your pocket, you aren't constantly pinging a server halfway across the country. It's faster, it's private, and it just works. And this unfolds through a pretty brilliant technical roadmap. Step 1 is exactly what we just talked about. Completely maximize that local on-device intelligence. Make the iPhone do the heavy lifting. But Step 2 is where it gets super interesting. They are planning to enable specific AI model downloads, meaning if your device's built-in power isn't quite enough for a super specialized task, the system lets you pull down targeted AI models just for that job. It's an incredibly smart, layered way to scale up capability. Let's wrap things up with Section 4, the future user experience, and bridging the gap. Ultimately, all of this crazy engineering, the redesigned Siri, the local processing, the generative imagery, it is all aimed at solving one specific consumer problem. The whole core thesis of iOS 27 is cutting through the overwhelming global hype of artificial intelligence and molding it into something you and I find genuinely practically useful. The ultimate goal, quoting the source directly, is delivering the AI experience users actually want. Not a flashy tech demo, not what engineers think is cool, but everyday utility that makes you excited to use your phone again. Which leaves us with a massive, industry-defining question to chew on.
We see the strategy. We see the dramatic shift from quiet background tech to loud, front and center features. But the true test is always the consumer. Will iOS 27 finally deliver the AI experience users actually want? Or will the tech giant's biggest swing at AI struggle to live up to the monumental hype? Keep that question in the back of your mind as we watch this incredible shift unfold.